Well, hi. You ever wonder what would I even eat in a day if I did try to eat plant-based? Well, I want to share with you what I eat for breakfast, typical things, what I eat for lunch, and what I eat for dinner, and even snacks, just to give you some ideas of what I eat. I've been eating plant-based now for over 5 years. And so I've kind of got it down pat as to the type of things that I eat, and some are a little different now than what I used to eat before. So it kind of changes with time. So let's start with breakfast. I have in front of me overnight oats, and I'm sure you've heard of overnight oats. The reason why I like them is because they're convenient. I go ahead and put old-fashioned oats in a jar along with plant-based milk. I typically go ahead and put my fruit in there. It could be berries. This one happens to have strawberries in it. If you want to put ground flaxseed, about a tablespoon, or about a tablespoon of chia seed, that's good too, and it helps thicken this up. The next day when I get up, typically I make 4 or 5 of these. So in the morning, I grab this out of the refrigerator, and if I want to, like this morning, I added some additional banana to it. And if you want some sweetener, of course, you could use it. I typically use date syrup in mine to sweeten it. If you wanted to add walnuts or pumpkin seeds or that type thing, you could do that at that time as well. I stir it up. I like mine warm, so I typically warm it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and I like it that way. Some people like it cold. But to me, this is a go-to because it's so quick and easy, and I don't have to fool with anything else in the morning. Now, sometimes I wake up and I think to myself, I really would like a special breakfast this morning, something different, not my typical overnight oats, or every once in a while I'll fix a big Instapot full of oat groats, and I'll eat on those for several days, and that's easy too. Once you have them cooked, you can just continue to eat them throughout the week. But sometimes I want something a little different, so whole wheat pancakes are something that I love. I have an excellent recipe. At the end of this video, I'll share a video with you, a suggestion so that you can go to that. It's all about breakfasts, and it's got the whole wheat pancakes there, and it's a little demonstration of how I put those together, but they're so delicious. And I put berries on top of it. If I want a little walnuts, I do that, and some maple syrup. That's a special breakfast. When I first started eating whole food plant-based, I did eat cereals, like dry cereals occasionally. And I would typically go to the natural type cereal section of the grocery store. The cereal section of the grocery store is so long. I would try to find that more natural, healthier, and typically it was a Kashi brand. So I typically ate some type of Kashi cereal, and maybe put berries on top of that or some type of fruit on top of that. That would be convenient as well. I used to do toast quite a bit too, and still sometimes I'll do avocado toast with tomato slices on top of it. Every once in a while I'll just fix a veggie sandwich for breakfast if I'm in the mood. Maybe some type of healthy bread, put a little vegan mayonnaise on it, put a slice of tomato, lettuce, onions, whatever veggies you want on it, and I'll just have a veggie sandwich. There's been times that I've eaten vegetables for breakfast, even sweet potatoes, sometimes even cooked spinach. That may sound gross to you, but over time I've learned to love those things. So breakfast looks different at different times. There's so many breakfast ideas of things that you can eat, but the overnight oats are easy and fast, and that's what I tend to gravitate to. If not this, then the big pot of oat groats that I can just warm up every day for several days and add my fruit to it. So that's typically what I do, but lots of variety out there of breakfasts that you could try that are whole food plant-based. Now I want to show you my typical lunch that I fix, and I want to show you my typical dinner ideas, and I want to show you some snacks as well. Before we get to the lunch, if you've not subscribed to my channel, but you're finding value here, it would be very helpful if you would go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And always in my description, in my notes below my videos, I always put a free document that I offer that's all about being successful on a plant-based diet. So you want to check that out as well. Now let's look at what dinner looks like. Let's start with lunch. I always eat a great big salad, and I want to get as many greens as I can. So I might use different types of greens, and I chop it up so that it'll fit in the bowl nicely. The more greens and the more variety, the more vitamins you're getting. My salads for lunch do not look like my little side salads that I used to have before I started eating plant-based. I put all kinds of vegetables on it. Anything that I have in the refrigerator that's left over and chopped up, I love to add it to my salad. And it's okay if it's big. I put it in a pasta bowl, and it's very filling, takes a long time to eat, just packed with nutrition. Here I'm adding some sprouts on top to add even more nutrition to my salad. This makes a great lunch, very filling, and I might add Italian dressing, a homemade dressing, or even some type of specialty vinegar. Look how delicious that lunch is. I do this most every day, especially when I'm at home. So dinner could be a lot of different things. That's where my creative recipes come into play. And I eat leftovers sometimes for 3 or 4 days. I may adapt them and do them, maybe add something to them or eat them a little differently. I'll show you what I mean. So this is an idea for a dinner meal. This is Sloppy Joe, and this particular one is made with veggie crumbles. Sometimes I make them with lentils, which would be less fat, and I think it's just as good. I also have a coleslaw here that I've made that is vegan friendly. I have a 100% whole wheat bun. Anytime I use bread or buns, I try to get 100% whole wheat, or you can certainly use rye or pumpernickel. Just try not to get white bread. But I might have this for a dinner, and then maybe if I need a side, I could do a fruit or I could do a salad. But I also have a bunch of baked potatoes that I baked up in advance recently. And so what I might do is just maybe cut these into round circles and put them in the air fryer for a little while, put some seasoning on it, and that might be my side with this Sloppy Joe. But if I have leftover Sloppy Joe, what I might do for the next night is I might build a little bit of a salad with some greens underneath, put the coleslaw on top of that, heat up my Sloppy Joe mixture and put it on top of that and eat it out of a bowl. So I might do different things with my recipes, but this would just be an example of one dinner I might have in a day. This is pasta with marinara, and I've got some fresh basil from the garden in there. I would chop that up in it. This is 100% whole wheat pasta that I use, and then just marinara. I try to look at the marinara sauce if I'm not making it myself. When I buy it in the grocery store, I try to get what has the least amount of ingredients. If I can get it without oil and sugar, yay, that's a bonus. But sometimes I can't. If I go to a grocery store out of town and I happen to find that type of marinara, I usually stock up on it. I could also put mushrooms. I could cook some mushrooms and onions and put it in my marinara if I wanted to, if I needed a little more substance, I guess, in this dish. But I could eat a side salad with this, but this would be an ideal also for a dinner. I could also use veggie crumbles if I wanted to in the marinara. So occasionally I'll use vegan meatballs because my husband likes those, and so sometimes I'll put that in the marinara and we'll have that over pasta. But this is another idea for a dinner that I might eat. Very common dinner. I'm going to show that a little bit up close so you can see the Sloppy Joe. And then another dinner idea is I love soups, and my husband seems to like them as well, especially the healthy ones. And so I'm excited about that. I sometimes make a lentil soup that has potatoes in it and carrots and celery. This happens to be a 3-bean vegetable soup, and it has a lot of stuff in it. It has chickpeas, kidney beans, and cannelli beans, as well as Yukon Gold potatoes. You could put sweet potatoes in it if you prefer. It has carrots, it has celery, it has onions, it has a lot of flavor. So a big bowl of this, just like this pasta bowl full, would be my dinner. So I'm getting a lot of veggies, I'm getting some carbs, I'm getting lots of protein in there as well. So that is a typical dinner. These are only 3 ideas for my dinner, but I make such a variety of foods. There's so many things that you can do. If I'm in a hurry and I'm rushing, I can very easily put some rice in the rice cooker while it's cooking, put some kind of beans on out of a can, like black beans would probably be my first choice. Let them heat up, put the black beans on top of the rice, chop up some tomatoes on top of that, and some raw onion on top of that, and that's a delicious dinner for me. So that would be something I can do very quickly because I have my kitchen well stocked and I've got those things handy. So that would be another dinner that would sort of be a fast dinner. Another fast dinner idea is I keep ramen noodles in my pantry, but I don't use the little packet that's in it. I cook them in veggie broth, and then I add to it things like frozen peas. I might add some frozen corn in there. At the end, I could add some chopped green onion possibly, but that's a really, really fast put together dinner as well. So there's so many things you can do, so many recipes, but these are just some ideas for what I might eat in a day for my dinner. I want to show you snacks real fast, but I did fail to mention that I use nutritional yeast on top of my marinara. Anytime I want a cheesy flavor, this is high in protein. Usually it's fortified with lots of vitamins as well. You can find it in the baker section of the grocery store, although it's not an active yeast and you don't use it for baking, but it does have a cheesy flavor. So I would put that on top of my marinara or any dish that I want a cheesy flavor. Now let's go ahead and look at the snack ideas. So what are some snack ideas that I could eat? This is some that I typically eat in a day. I make a vegan yogurt. I've shared it in my videos before, but I'll go ahead and include that recipe in the notes below. It's a very easy thing to throw together. It has tofu in it, but it's a good yogurt. I like the texture of it. I like the taste of it. And so for a snack, I might eat, and by the way, when I make them, I store it in jars like this, but I might put some of that in a bowl, and then I might put some fruit salad. I make fruit salad quite a bit and keep them in jars in the refrigerator. So I might add some fruit on top of the yogurt, and that would be a good snack. If I need a little more sweetener to it, I sometimes put a little date syrup, or you could use a little agave if you wanted, just drizzle on top of it. That is a good snack. Right now, this time of the year, this video is made in the summer. We are enjoying watermelon. My husband and I both are, and so I will eat about this bowl size full as a snack usually in the evening, and I'm absolutely loving it. If it's not watermelon, it's usually cantaloupe or honeydew, some type of melon. I absolutely love it. So that's a good snack as well. If you need something that maybe is a little more substantial, maybe you're pretty hungry and you need a snack, you could always get you a piece of toast, like 100% whole wheat bread or rye bread, pumpernickel bread, a good sourdough bread, not one that has, you just have to look at the ingredients. I try to go with as few ingredients as possible. But you could toast that and put a little peanut butter on it, and that would be a good snack as well. If you're looking for something a little saltier, every once in a while I'll have some salsa in the refrigerator, and I might get either store-bought. I usually get the blue corn chips is typically what I get if I'm going to buy those. I'm more a sweet snacker instead of salty, but I know some people love salty. But I would get those chips and dip it in salsa, and that would be a salty snack. You can also make your own chips by just cutting up a regular tortilla. Corn tortilla would be probably better. Cut it up, put a little garlic powder on it, maybe a little chili powder, salt, pepper, whatever seasonings you want on it, and toast it in the oven. You just have to watch them because they can burn very quickly, but you can make your own. You can even put a little lime juice on it first and then the seasoning, and then that would be kind of a salty snack. So a lot of things that you can snack on. There's so much variety in eating whole food plant-based. And these are just some typical snacks that I might eat. All right, so you have seen my typical breakfasts, my typical lunch, my typical dinner ideas that I have, and even some snacks that I eat. So get busy. Maybe mimic some of the things that I do if it looked interesting to you, or look up some other recipes and some other types of healthy food and get busy with taking good care of you, because there is power in your plate and what you eat really does matter. See you next time.